socially and culturally, divides as decisively as the Hudson severs Manhattan from New Jersey and the Danube separates Buda from Pest. The right bank owns the valley floor, ensuring it has the most spacious apartments, the widest avenues, and most generous sidewalks. It boasts the Élysée Palace, France's White House, and its premier theatrical venues, the Comédie Française and Palais Garnier. The most luxurious hotels, the most select shopping streets, Champs-Élysées, Rue de la Paix, Place Vendôme, and Avenue Matignon, are all rive droite. Cross the Seine, however, and the streets become narrow. Houses lean to cut off the sun. As sidewalks contract, roadways are transformed into pedestrian promenades where open-air markets sell fruit, vegetables, bread, ham, sausage, and, of course, cheese. You are in Saint-Germain. For centuries, literary and political figures have gathered here to argue, expound, and write. Leaders of political and philosophical thought made it their home. Revolutions were hatched here, not only on issues of social change, but on fashion, publishing, jazz, cuisine. It took no intellect to choose Saint-Germain as the place to live. Since the 18th century, rebels, misfits, dissidents, pornographers, and troublemakers had congregated here. Close to the city walls, it was remote from the eyes of authority. Locals believed the presence of these radical elements made their corner of the city busier, more colorful, more vital. Citizens of the rive droite saw it differently. They never forgot that the revolution of 1789 incubated in Saint-Germain. Danton, Robespierre, Marat, Desmoulins, and its other leaders plotted in the Café Procope, the back door of which faced the printery where Jean-Paul Marat published his virulently anti-monarchist journal, L'Ami du Peuple. A few houses away, Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotin perfected the killing machine that would bear his name. For intellectuals and artists, to endure the deficiencies of Saint-Germain became a point of pride. Living like a common laborer conferred a sort of nobility. In 1920, the 6th arrondissement, of which Saint-Germain is a part, housed about 100,000 people, twice as many as today. But its inhabitants got only what they paid for. Only half the homes had electricity or water on tap. Jugs and buckets were filled from wells in the courtyard and lugged upstairs. Private toilets were a luxury. In rooming houses, 2 or 3 filthy lavatories served 50. Most people kept a chamber pot under the bed and emptied it each morning, sometimes out the window with a casual "Gardez l'eau," watch the water, to anyone who might be walking below. With water so scarce, bathing became a luxury. Napoleon Bonaparte often rose at 2 a.m. and, to the despair of his servants, demanded a hot bath, an affectation that astonished his subjects. A particularly fastidious Parisian might visit a public bathhouse weekly, or summon one of the itinerant bathmen who cruised the streets. Hauling a collapsible canvas or metal tub to your apartment, they filled it with water heated on your kitchen stove and left the family to enjoy a good wallow. Most people, however, followed the lead of England's Queen Elizabeth I, who, as one courtier revealed, bathed twice a year, even when she didn't need to. Paradoxically, Napoleon, despite his insistence on personal hygiene, relished the natural scents of a woman. Days before returning from battle, he wrote ahead to his new wife, Josephine, "Don't wash, I'm coming." Inevitably, vermin flourished in the slums of Saint-Germain. In any European city, one was never farther than a meter from a rat. Before bed, women routinely shook out their underwear over a dish of water. Fleas tumbled out like grains of pepper. Head lice were so common that mothers shaved their sons bald during summer. Roaches and bedbugs, though impossible to exterminate, could at least be kept at bay. As British writer George Orwell explained in his gloomily informative Down and Out in Paris and London, he set fire to a dish of sulphur, sealed his doors and windows, and left for the day.